unfortunately, does that just feel really familiar? Lots of good moments, lots of chances, more possession than Chelsea, but ultimately undone in a moment.
Yeah, it was the good things that we talk about before the game. We had some moments. We are improving the way we play football. We could press quite well, and we had some chances. But then one situation, and you can feel it, the same mistake that we suffered a goal, and then almost in the next play we open our defense for the second opportunity. So we are building something, but in the end you need to win games, and we have that lack of aggression in the final third. You can feel it, but we are improving.
So that urgency you wanted last week, particularly in the boxes, lacking again today?
Not so much. It was not so clear. We have our situations. We cross the ball. We have the second balls. So we were quite aggressive today. We need to be more aggressive, because you can feel it that we have good build up until the last third, and then we miss something. But we need to work on that. But I think we faced the competition in the right way today. We were competitive.
Sorry, is that an issue for the team? Just looking at the squad, you even look at the team on paper and you think it's one that's going to struggle to score goals. Is that something, when you talked last week about needing to be brave in the summer, is that the area, attacking areas? Do you need to add more goals to this team?
We'll not talk about the summer. The good thing is that in the Europa League we are scoring many goals. So now we are going to prepare the game for Europa League. Of course, we have to deal with a lot of things during the summer. But again, today was a really good game to prepare also the final. Because if we put some players out, and the feeling of the last game is there, almost 10 days without playing, for me, I think would be a mistake. So I think was a good thing for them to play, to feel that they can do it. We can control the game. We can have possession. We can push the opponent. All these small things, I know for sure that the players are feeling in this moment. But in the end, in this club, in any club, you need to win, and we are not winning games.
We're going to beaten tonight, but they're hoping they're all going to be fit and ready and firing, full of goals on Wednesday night. Is this the biggest problem for this Manchester United squad right now?
Yeah, it's the same interview that we've heard from the manager. He's obviously frustrated.
It's very difficult for him to
of course,
keep answering those same questions.
Absolutely, I'm not knocking him for that. I'm just making a point about it. We've heard it all before. They don't score enough goals. He talked about aggression. They've had one shot on target. No goal tonight, no goal against West Ham. He's talking about, obviously, Europe, but this was a league game. You've got to focus on the league, what we're talking about. Talks about what they can do in the final third, but that's the most important part of football. Obviously, you've got to defend properly, and you've got to be aggressive. Like, when you look at the goal, if you want to analyse the goal, Garnacho just runs by him. James, he doesn't even tackle him, he doesn't be aggressive. So they have a problem, and they've got no striker. Hoyland tonight looked like the young kid for Chelsea. He looked like he's just come out of the academy. His runs weren't right, his timing, his hold-up play. Again, if you're a striker for playing for Man United, you walk up, you know how to, again, even for the whole team, one shot on target. It's just...
But do you think he would be better with more quality around him?
Well, we keep making excuses for him. We talk about confidence, but you still think when you're a striker up there, you've got to make something happen sometimes. And what the big clubs have, and United have always had, strikers who can produce something by themselves, even if they're not getting great service. They produce something because they've got quality, they've got a bit of desire, determination, a bit of experience, football intelligence. We don't see that with Hoyland. So United are up against it all the time. Obviously, he needs a little bit of support, but my goodness, sometimes you've got to just do a bit better. I think he got a ball in the first half on the edge of the box, and he didn't even know he wasn't even in the right body position to take a shot, and he knocks it back. Should be getting an on goal.
So we've talked about this this summer, and we've heard this language of being brave this summer from Ruben Amorim. If that means a big turnover of players, how many of this Manchester United group would you have a not for sale sign on?
Well, truthfully, well, obviously you'd have to be realistic. You're not going to get everyone of it. People like Bruno and listen, it's the ones just the ones.
Bruno or.
Well, Bruno's always on who springs to mind because obviously he's a brilliant player. But of course, there's a few you have to go on to. Just talk about Garnacho. You look at Maguire, we've got new players who come into the club. They need time to settle in, obviously. The big decision on the goalkeeper. You need a world-class striker. But it's who comes in for these players.
So would you fight to keep some of these younger ones that have been talked about? Garnacho, Kobe Mainoo, Rasmus Højlund?
No, I wouldn't be on them three. I wouldn't be hanging my hat on them three to get Man United. Mainoo comes on tonight. I watched him closely. He's strolling around the place. Some of his passes were sloppy. So when you're on about coming on the pitch, Garnacho is very kind of, he's immature. He plays in little moments, but he doesn't do enough. Again, we spoke before the programme. You want players for the big clubs, you turn up week in, week out. And he doesn't do that. He's got a bit of talent. He makes some good runs and he threatens him behind. And on his good day, you think, listen, I like what I see. But he's got too many bad days. And Højlund, in his defence, I think he should have probably been a backup striker, third or fourth choice, and learn his trade off 2 or 3 brilliant strikers. The fact when he came to the club that he was going to be the main man, he's not good enough. He's certainly obviously lacking in confidence and belief. And he's not surrounded by brilliance either. So there's the problems that we've spoken about United all season are still there. No, if people think they can fix that in one summer, then that's not going to happen.
But is that the kind of bravery, the brave decisions that United need to make to start moving forward?
I mean, Euro's obviously not going to be sold. He's only just come to the club. I can't disagree with Roy. I just think pretty much every single player, there is a price on all of them. I think that just tells you where they are.
Because if they win on Wednesday night, they're going to have to be playing twice a week again.
I mean, they're
at a higher level.
Yeah, and they're going to have Champions League football. And right now, you'd look at that and you'd probably be nervous for that squad going into Champions League football because it's not all of a sudden going to become better overnight. It's not going to get better because they've got a bit more experience. So I think pretty much every single player, I think Jason Wilcox and all the CEO, the new CEO, they will look at it and go, if the offer's right, and then we can bring in somebody younger, better, we'll have to do it.
What's the positives with these teams? Well, I've mentioned it before. You something watch certain teams and you hang your hat on something. You say they're really technically very good. They're fit. They're brilliant at set piece. You look at United and go, they're not really good at anything. So this idea that they can do something this summer and bring in loads of special players if they don't win next week, I think the days of everyone wanting to go to Man United, no matter where they are, I think them days are gone. I don't think there'll be players looking to go sign for Man United unless they're.
You don't think there's that extra, cachet about the club anymore?
No, that's gone. That bit of excitement about the club. I think the fans even here tonight. I don't think the United fans are angry anymore. It's just an acceptance. Even the manager's interview there, he's accepting where they are. Now, obviously, you have to be realistic, but you still want to show emotion and a bit of anger. I think United fans will be going back up the motorway to Manchester tonight, going, "No, that's what we thought would probably happen." And that's a sad.
I didn't come in today 1 second and think that Man United would win, or even Tottenham
Who
today.
did?
No one.
Well, I certainly didn't.
No.
And I don't think the manager did. And more importantly, I don't think the players believed they could come and win tonight. And even the Chelsea managers, he's patronised them by saying, "Oh, they played well, they pressed us, they were 1v1, hey, they're dangerous, we watched them a few times." They beat them 1-0.
And one shot on
United
target.
One shot on target. He's just what they're doing to United, they're patting them on the head, going, "And off you go back up to Manchester." That's what United used to do to teams years ago. Now they're getting it. And they've got to respond to that. Don't accept that nonsense.
They've got a chance to respond on Wednesday night in the Europa League final.
To be competitive.